What's up, everyone? It's Roger and Abe here from DizKingdom.com with another episode of the Diz Kingdom podcast. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing a little bit about news that came out from Las Vegas, where they were talking about a new Star Wars attraction, but also talking about a boat ride. Now, it could be coming to Star Wars, but it could also be coming to Avatar Land. So, Abe, did you get a chance to see this article?
Yeah, it would definitely. I had the same thought process. I thought it could have possibly been misleading. I know they asked one of the main Imagineers about Star Wars Land and things to come. I know Avatar Land has this awesome boat ride coming. They've already showed concept and stuff, but they threw in Star Wars Land, and then he said something like that. It almost makes me wonder, like, could we be getting a boat ride for Star Wars Land? I don't know.
It was bringing in Industrial Light and Magic is what kind of threw me off, was because unless they're kind of bring them in to do all their special effects, because they do work on other movies outside of Star Wars, it's not always just them. It's like a boat ride. I think a lot of people are like, well, there's no water, there's no water in Star Wars, it's a space thing. But sometimes a boat ride can be used because the water is a great way of transitioning people with weight and just moving people through, and the big screens and stuff. There is a couple of planets in the new Force Awakens that have got water around them. So it's not like it's not like, I think it's not always Jakku or Tatooine where people think of.
People think of what?
Yeah, it's like Tatooine and Jakku with like desert and stuff. There are.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they can go to Takodana and do some like freestyle water. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's a different video game. I'm thinking. No, but I was going to say, no, you're right. It's true. And one thing that I was thinking about too is that they are going to have to shave down the rivers of America in Disneyland just to make room for Star Wars Land. Maybe they use part of the river, part of the ride. I don't know. It's interesting. It kind of sounds weird to me. I think it's probably lost in translation with the whole Avatar Land. Industrial Light Magic, didn't that come with the purchase of Lucasfilm anyways? It could be just Disney using their own stuff. So
because that's the thing. We know Avatar Land, they're bringing in, there is going to be a boat ride, and it kind of fits in with like the waters. Not that there's a lot of water in the movie, but I think it kind of naturally converts itself to like a forest. So I'm still kind of like, well, is he just talking about things? But the original article was talking about Star Wars Land using it. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a water attraction, because I think in terms of Disney, and this is the thing with those water attractions, is they work very well for large families. They work well for the whole family. When you take your family to the parks and you can go on It's a Small World, you can go on those kind of attractions as a family in Pirates of the Caribbean. That is what made Disney stand out differently. We're not talking here, Harry Potter or Transformers movie ones where you are strapped in and you're being swung around like I think that's what I'd love from a Star Wars movie, a Star Wars ride. But I also would think they need to make an attraction for everybody that's not just all moving you around as fast as possible.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I completely agree with you there. I guess the only thing that I'm concerned with is, like, you're right, there are other planets that include water. But the last one I can think of involves, Gungans, and I just don't want to see that in the new Star Wars Land. We already have a part of that in Star Tours anyways, with the new adventures. So it does make sense. One thing that I wanted to piggyback off of what you said about water rides. Yeah, they're great because families love to go on them together, but they're also big people eaters. They want rides that take up a lot of capacity. So instead of seeing tons and tons of people outside in line walking around clogging up the walkways, have people in queue and on the ride. That's why Pirates of the Caribbean is such a great ride. Small World's a great ride. All these water rides could spring in and take in a lot of people. So
but also that's the thing as well, and I do wonder, it's like whether or not when you have a boat ride of a big boat that you put, the water makes people move around with a lot less effort because they can just kind of control the water. The weight pulls all those people off the ground and moves them around, rather than having them on tracks like Toy Story Mania or Transformers where they're being moved around and stuff. I mean, having gone on the Ratatouille ride in Paris where it's completely like free and there's no track and everything's just moving around and stuff, but you'd have to wonder, are they thinking we need an attraction that's going to not break down, maybe go back to basics to kind of I mean, I think they're going to be advanced stuff anyway, but you know, it could be kind of cool because I don't think they've added a new like that kind of attraction for a while now. And if they had a big drop in or something, it could be fun.
I was going to say two things. One, personally, I would rather have like a space flight type of ride because it's Star Wars. But the second thing I wanted to say is possibly, spoiler alert, maybe there's something to do with water in episode 8 and we don't know about it yet. So
exactly.
I mean, not to reveal anything, but a character that we're looking for in this movie at the very end is surrounded by water. So who knows?
That's exactly it. I mean, it's a few years off. I'm still very much in that line of thought of thinking this could so easily end up being Avatar Lands or Pandora World of Tomorrow, whatever they want to call it. It could easily be that. And I think that's where it gets a little bit like, I think it's because I think there's a lot of us kind of looking at this going, it doesn't quite sit 100% right. If they said it was an attraction that was not on water, I think everyone would be like, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Because I would expect that kind of attraction to go in there, where it's you're in a pod and you're whizzing around in some kind of set with stuff happening, like Harry Potter, like Transformers, or Ratatouille, that kind of show. That's what I'm expecting from space. But the water stuff does throw me off.
Well, not only that, but like from concept art that we've seen, Avatar concept art includes people on a boat, and even though it's too early because we haven't had too much concept art, but Star Wars Land, I haven't really seen big bodies of water or anything that kind of hint that there's anything to do with water. So
yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. I still very much on that fence at the minute. It's so easy at this point with a few years to go. Something could so easily just drop to the side and be wrong on it. So I don't know. I'm still quite excited. Again, if you're at Walt Disney World, it's definitely that kind of thing of, I think that kind of attraction is going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. And I don't mind Avatar. And I think it feels like that would feel the right fit to put it into Avatar rather than Star Wars Land. But I do wonder if Avatar, when those new movies come out, I still don't know whether or not, if they'd known maybe in foresight, they might not have purchased and done Avatar stuff. Very hard to know. I know it's the biggest movie of all time, you're only gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer. You're gonna be you're not longer.
Hopefully.
It's just like, it's chasing it down.
I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here, but if I remember on an old interview, James Cameron did hint that the next Avatar movie has a lot to do with being in water. So
yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, it's up in the air. I'm with Roger. I think I'm on the fence here. Regardless of the fact, I'm excited that we're getting a Star Wars Land anyways. So let's see what happens. Whether we're on water or on an actual Millennium Falcon, which would be amazing. We'll see what happens.
Everyone just gets into a first order troop things. You stand there, it takes you up, it drops you down, you get out the other end, and that's just reenacted the movie.
Enjoy the ride.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot of excitement coming up, lots of discussions, I think there's gonna be so many rumors and stuff coming out over the next few years over all of this. But we'd love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think of this story? Do you think it's a boatland for Star attraction? Try that again.
A boat ride for Avatar Land or for Star Wars Land? There you go.
There we go. So there we go. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Remember, check out our Patreon as well. I'm Ethan at sortouts.com, Magic Band Collectors, and you can also gain early access to our podcast a few days early by joining up with Patreon, though everybody else does to get them eventually anyway. And also, big thank you to everyone for checking us out, and we shall see you guys in a later video. Later.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Or whatever they say in Pandora Land.
Chiquatli, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks guys. See you later.